walked over to Jack, a warm smile on her face. "Jack, I think it was very noble of you to turn him down on my account. You didn't have to do that." Jack chuckled, picking up his wooden spoon again. "Well, it wasn't quite as noble as you think, Johnny." "Why not?" Suddenly I got a terrifying vision of what Roper's niece would look like. Jack said, shuddering playfully, "Imagine Mr. Roper's face on a girl. Now imagine Mr. Roper's body on a girl." "No, thank you." Johnny laughed, swatting his arm. "Well, I still think it was really nice of you to stay for my birthday. It means a lot to me." "Hey, I wouldn't miss your birthday for anything," Jack said sincerely, looking her in the eye. "What do you think I am? Some kind of a think?" "Jack, don't you have something to do?" Chrissy interrupted, giving him a meaningful look, like pick up the wine for the you-know-what. Jack tapped the side of his nose. "You mean the wine for my surprise birthday party?" Chrissy gasped, clapping a hand over her mouth. "Oh, you guessed." Jack rolled his eyes. "The surprise is it's going to be beer. I'll be right back." Chapter 3, The $50 Bribe. Jack was halfway down the stairs, keys jingling in his pocket, when he heard his name called. "Hi again." Jack turned to see Stanley Roper standing at the bottom of the steps. Beside him stood a young woman. Jack stopped dead in his tracks. All his mental images of a female Mr. Roper evaporated instantly in a puff of smoke. The girl standing in the hallway was stunning. She had cascading dark hair, piercing blue eyes, and a figure that a tight sweater and flared jeans did absolutely nothing to hide. She looked like she had just stepped off the cover of a fashion magazine. "Mr. Roper," Jack stammered, gripping the banister. "I thought I told you." I know," Stanley said smoothly. "But I thought you might want to meet my niece anyway. Karen, want to come in and say hello to Jack?" Karen flashed a brilliant, high-wattage smile. "Hi." "Hi," Jack squeaked. His voice had suddenly gone up an octave. He cleared his throat. "Hi." Just then, the door to apartment 201 opened, and Chrissy and Johnny peeked out. "This is Chrissy and Johnny," Jack introduced, tearing his eyes away from Karen for a split second. "Hi," Karen said, waving lazily. "Hello," Johnny said, her eyes narrowing slightly as she took in Karen's appearance. "Jack," Stanley said, stepping closer and grabbing Jack's elbow in a vice grip. "Can I talk to you for a minute, privately?" "Oh, sure," Jack said. He looked back up the stairs. "Excuse me. Mr. Roper wants to talk to me for a minute. I'll be right back." Stanley dragged Jack into the small laundry room off the main hallway, shutting the door behind them. The room smelled of bleach and old lint. "Here," Stanley said, thrusting his hand into his pocket and pulling out a crisp, folded bill. He shoved it into Jack's chest. Jack looked down. It was a $50 bill. To a culinary student living on tips and student loans, it might as well have been a gold brick. "What's this?" Jack asked, his fingers twitching. $50, Stanley whispered fiercely, For me? Listen to me, Stanley said, leaning in so close Jack could smell the stale coffee on his breath. I know it goes against your grain. I know you prefer other company. But you've got to do me a favor and take her out tonight. Jack looked at the 50, then toward the door where Karen was waiting, then back at the 50. His mind raced. $50. That was a week's groceries. That was a night out. More importantly, it was enough money to do something very specific. Something he had been desperate to do since yesterday. Earlier that week, Jack had discovered Jana crying in her bedroom. She had confessed that she had pawned a beautiful, antique cameo necklace, a family heirloom given to her by her grandmother just so they could make rent 3 months ago. The pawn ticket was expiring tomorrow, and she didn't have the money to get it back. She was heartbroken. Jack had sworn to himself he would find a way to get it back for her birthday. He had been racking his brain, considering taking a dangerous loan or selling his beloved set of professional chef's knives. And now, here was Stanley Roper, literally handing him the exact amount he needed. $50. Jack repeated, the gears turning in his head. Yeah, Stanley said eagerly. And I'll lend you my car. I mean, anything to get Mrs. Roper off my back. She's driving me crazy. Will you do it, please? Jack took a deep breath. He hated to let Jana down on her birthday. He knew Chrissy and Jana had spent all day preparing. But if he did this, if he took Karen out for a quick drink, he could slip away, go to the pawn shop before it closed, and bring the cameo back as the ultimate birthday surprise. They would forgive him instantly. Oh, yes, Jack said, slipping the 50 into his pocket. Great! Stanley clapped him on the shoulder, nearly knocking him into a washing machine. Let's go. They emerged from the laundry room. Karen was leaning against the wall, examining her fingernails. Uncle Stanley and Aunt Helen have been very nice, Karen was saying to Jana and Chrissy, who were hovering at the top of the stairs. Only, I think my uncle must have had an accident or something. Oh, Jana asked. Yeah, he can't seem to remember anything that's happened since the war. Stanley coughed loudly. Karen, I think Jack here wants to ask you something. Karen turned, her blue eyes locking onto Jack. She looked him up and down, a slow, appreciative smile spreading across her face. Oh, he can ask me anything. Jack swallowed hard. Yeah, Karen, how would you like me to show you the town tonight? Oh, I'd love it, Karen purred, stepping toward him and linking her arm through his. Let's go. See ya. Jack called up the stairs, avoiding Jeanette's gaze. Wait a minute, Jeanette cried, hurrying down a few steps. What about the party? Jack winced. Just take the dinner out of the stove in 20 minutes. Well, I'll be back in time for the party, Jack promised, already being pulled toward the front door by Karen. Bye-bye. Don't be late, Chrissy called out weakly. As the door closed behind them, Jana stood on the stairs, staring at the empty hallway. Her shoulders slumped. Jack's really a nice person, Chrissy said softly, trying to fill the silence. Jeanette's jaw tightened. Nice fink. Back in the apartment, Shauna walked over to the kitchen counter where Jack had left his favorite, slightly battered chef's hat. She picked it up